Hi students, I am back again. I'm sorry it's been a while since I've uploaded a video. I'm actually having some technical difficulties with getting some videos clipped together and uploaded onto my computer. And so this is actually a redo of a previous lesson I did earlier this week, and hopefully it'll take this time, so we'll see. But what we're talking about today is Zentangles. Zentangles are a super awesome practice to do because they're basically just really fancy doodling. And with doodling, there's really endless possibilities, so it's a really good creativity exercise, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that. So here are some examples of Zentangles. We're going to start with doing a abstract practice, and then we'll do kind of more of a picture of something practice. And what you need today is just a blank piece of paper and something to write with. It can be, I'm going to use a Sharpie, but it can be a pencil, it can be a pen, it can be a colored pencil, whatever you have on hand. So to start, we're going to do just an abstract shape and fill it with different patterns. So I like to just draw kind of a crazy line that crosses over itself a lot of times. You could also do some, what if I did like a straight line shape through it too? Oops. Okay, so now what I have here is I've divided this area into different spaces. So you can see each one of these is a space, and I'm gonna fill each one of those spaces with a pattern. So remember, a pattern, we'll use circles. A pattern is just anything, any design that repeats. It has to happen over and over again to be a pattern, okay? So you can come up with endless patterns, lines, dots, shapes, but you just want to fill in each space with a different pattern. So you guys, my time lapse got interrupted by a phone call, so you didn't get all of it on there. But I'm actually going to do another one because what I want to talk about really quick that a lot of you are going to know sounds familiar because it's one of my favorite things to talk about is building patterns. So remember, when we are building pattern, it basically means that you're just going in and you're adding more inside the pattern that you already have established. So if we use just my circles down here as an example, to go back and build pattern on these, I have some options. I could put a dot. Oops, let's see. I could put a dot in each one of these. So that's one way to build pattern. I could do a triangle in between them like this. That's another way to build pattern. So it kind of depends what you choose to do, really depends on how much space you have. So if you only have a little bit of space, you could just do something like adding dots. If you have more space, you can add some shapes. And I know that a lot of students get kind of frustrated with building pattern because they feel like they've finished their design and they're done. But the reason why I really love building pattern and encourage it so much is because it's a really great exercise for your brain. It's kind of like solving a puzzle. So to go back and add more even after you think you're done really kind of just takes your project to the next level, and it helps you challenge your brain and grow it and make those creative muscles stronger because you're readdressing something and adding more things to it. Okay, you guys, so I hope that gives you some ideas. Before I sign off, I'm just going to show you another way that we can apply this to a more literal picture. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna do the same thing, but this time I'm gonna make a landscape. So my 4th graders at Taylorsville might recognize this because it was actually one of our projects that we did before the closure. I'm gonna do some landscape lines. So I'm gonna do like a mountain, and I'm going to do some desert towers, kind of like some arches, because Utah is super cool with all of the desert stuff. I'm gonna do some hills. So each one of these lines is gonna be a layer in my landscape, and I can make some plants and some rocks. What if I did like a skull? Oh, my skull's not turning out so good. It's a cow skull with horns. And do a few more plants. You could do a tree for yours. For starting out, we do kind of want to keep these a little bit more simple so that it doesn't get too confusing. And I'm going to do a sun in the sky. And clouds. I'm kind of using the same idea that I did on my other example for the video for you guys, but that example didn't work out, so we're doing it again. So now I'm gonna do some patterns just for every single layer to make it look a little bit more interesting. Thanks for watching that with me, you guys. So this is a really good one because you can make it as simple or as easy as you want. And some little things I just want to point out before I go and let you guys go is you can take this farther. If you do yours with pen or a permanent marker and you have watercolors, you could watercolor different colors over it after. Something to think about when you're doing your patterns is you can kind of give your different details more depth by using patterns that kind of mimic what your element is that you're filling in. So for example, I have like these squiggle lines for mountains, kind of like maps, and then I have more straight jaggedy lines for the cliffs. So thinking about things like that, like maybe if your Zentangle is a cat, around the face you have patterns that make it look like fur. So just things like that will make it a little bit more fun and easy to tell what it is and kind of play off those elements. And yeah, I hope you guys have fun with it.